want to show you the whole cave through my eyes, how it looks. There's no wind, the waves are small, so the water should be clear. I'm taking my spear and going back into the fight. During low tide, the water level significantly drops, and because of this, fish come closer to the shore. This is especially noticeable during spearfishing, but so far I have not encountered any lobsters as an example. First, I tried to find fish behind the rocks, near the reef. Then I remembered that last time I was able to catch fish specifically in the grass. So this time, I decided to stick to this strategy and calmly drifted over the grass, looking out for fish. Look at my very interesting find. It's a skeleton of a pufferfish or balloon fish. I would have never thought that it had a spherical shell, and it's combined with a honeycomb-like structure. Most likely it was thanks to these combs that it could inflate in size when threatened. The further I swam from the shore, the stronger the current became. Sometimes I noticed that I was just swimming in place, and the current was carrying me out into the open ocean. Therefore, it's important to understand in which direction the current is moving and swim across it, not with it or against it, to escape the stream. And the main thing is not to miss this moment, because when you're immersed in the process of spearfishing, in just a few minutes, the current can carry you out to the open ocean, where without additional equipment, it will be very difficult to resist the current and return to shore. Sometimes, very large shoals of fish swam past me, but getting within shooting distance of them was simply unrealistic. In these shoals, I always saw big fish, but my spear could not reach them. And thoughts about the need to make a spear gun for spearfishing began to visit me more and more often. Here's my second interesting find. Something very similar to the sea cucumber I cooked during my survival on an uninhabited island in Cambodia. But this specimen looked more like a zucchini rather than a cucumber. If anyone knows what this is, please write in the comments. And can it be cooked and eaten? This specimen was huge, about half a meter. If it's edible, that's good. After many misses and a lot of hits on the reefs, my spear became very blunt and I needed to sharpen it. I sharpened the tip of my spear with the file that is in my multi-tool, but if I didn't have it, as an alternative, I would have used any flat stone. Again, the sky is clouding over. I can feel a strong rain is about to start as usual. But I have this dome over my head, a whole umbrella. A big cave. You can easily hide from the rain here, and I hope you can see. Over there is a big cave where I'll make a fire and warm up. The ocean is relatively calm, the water is clear. Sometimes the sun comes out. I need to get going to explore. In my last video, during an underwater hunt in the grass, I managed to shoot a decent fish, which I then cooked on a fire in a banana leaf and had a good snack, but that wasn't enough. I'll go hunting further. This time I was looking more and more closely into the grass, and just like last time in the grass, I noticed a black tail. Took a breath, loaded my harpoon, and dived to look for a fish. But there was another surprise waiting for me. It was a moray eel, very angry, aggressive, and dangerous fish, which can easily bite off a phalanx of a finger to a curious diver or an inexperienced underwater hunter. With this fish, you need to be careful and keep your distance. Look again, as soon as I moved the grass, it swam towards me, opened its mouth, and thus signaled that it was aggressive. Although it is edible and very tasty, this fish is quite dangerous and I didn't want to kill it. But I wanted to show you its aggressive reaction. Again, I wanted to swim up to a reef to look at the fish there and didn't notice that I was caught in a very strong current and one hand wasn't enough to cope with it. So I put the rubber band from my harpoon around my neck and started swimming with two hands across the current to get out of it as soon as possible. I had swum about 200 meters from the shore. The depth here was greater, about 4 meters, and I came across another underwater pumpkin. As far as I know, it's a trumpet fish. There were two, but they kept a safe distance. While watching the fish under the stone, I noticed something very interesting. It was a lionfish or lion scorpion. This fish is poisonous and deadly dangerous, so it's better not to touch it with your hands. And here are some other unknown creatures to me, which look like pencils located in water completely vertically. I don't know what it is, so please tell me in the comments, but most likely it's some kind of fish. During low tide, I noticed that I didn't encounter any lobsters on my path, and now on the way back, when I was swimming closer to the shore, where the depth was about 1.5 meters, in a burrow, I found a small lobster. I won't tire you out. I spent about 10 minutes on him in an attempt to get him out of the burrow. But all I managed to do was just break off his antennas and surface with them in my hand. This time my underwater hunting ended without any catch, but I promise you in the next video I'll make up for it. So today is another underwater hunting day, and I'm holding my homemade spear. Got the first hit, but the fish didn't stay on my spear and swam away. But since the wound was very severe, I knew it couldn't swim far. I needed to find it. Exploring the location in the direction the fish swam, and finally found it under one of the rocks. With the second shot, I finished it off and it ended up on the other side of the rock. It was already dead, so I just picked it up. Quite a small catch, but very important for me. A source of protein and my energy for the day. I realized that this little fish wouldn't be enough for me and I needed to hunt more. I noticed a fairly large fish in front of me. Take a breath and dive for it. But at the most crucial moment, my spear breaks down. Namely, the rope tore off from the rubber band, and during one of the misses, I hit a reef and knocked off a piece of the tip of my spear. Now my spear needs repair, but I decided to dive a little more, but without a spear, to explore the underwater world in this location in more detail. And in front of me, I noticed a very beautiful but deadly dangerous fish called a lionfish. Swimming a bit further, I meet two more lion scorpions, but as I understood it's a male and a female. They stayed close together, but one fish was brightly orange and the second was more dark with yellow spots. Also on my way, I met this sea pumpkin again. I guess it's a sea cucumber. Forgive me, they are really very large here, and this one is a record holder. This is the largest sea cucumber I've met in these waters, and in my life in general, it's very much like our leech, but 100 times bigger. When I was surviving on a deserted island in Cambodia and cooked a sea cucumber, it tasted like salty rubber, and I wonder how this one might taste. I think I'll find out soon. And here during swimming, I caught a phenomenal moment on camera. Let's watch what happened again. An eel jumps out and grabs a small fish and drags it like a snake into its hold. During the low tide, the fish move closer to the shore, which is very good for me, so I need to quickly repair my spear and get back to hunting. And for now, I need to prepare the fish that I just caught. I perform a rescue operation for this hermit crab, which is walking for some reason without a shell. And this is dangerous for them. So I will give this little home for him. Let him hide in it for now. Because if the birds are flying, they will eat him right away. And here he can hide for now until he finds something more suitable. Yes, the tide is strong indeed.